Well, I guess you could say I got a little bit inspired when I fired this up the other day. So I think what I'm going to do is fix that tire that don't hold air, and then maybe air up the rest and get her into the shop. I couldn't find the spare for this one. I don't know if we ever had one or where it went, but don't have one. Don't have a rim with four lug bolt pattern there that'll fit this. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to get creative. So I found these 14-inch tires from the old Ranger. Obviously the rim won't work, but the tires should fit on the rim. They'll be a little bit bigger than what's on there, but if it holds air, it'll work just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack this up, get that tire off, and see if I can swap these two, and then put her back on, and then see if the rest will take air. I think they're all flat and low anyway. I never bothered to even try to pump them up after that one didn't go, but we'll get them tires swapped out and back on, and we'll fire it up and get it in the shop. I know I'll have to put transmission fluid in it, but yeah, we'll start with the tire. Well, I had to get a little creative jacking it up because I couldn't really get the jack under there, so I jacked it up by the bumper, propped it up with a rim, and that gave me enough room to get the jack under the axle and get it up high enough to get the tire off. And the sandbars are brutal out here, so rather than kneeling in them, I found this old seat in the junk pile. Much more comfortable. But let's go ahead and grab this and that one and see if we can't make a good rim and tire combo. Alright, after a considerable amount of work, the tires are off. The hardest part about taking them off by hand is when you don't have a bead breaking tool. I've been smacking on that with a hammer and knocking the bead loose that way. Not the best, but it works. It gets the job done. So I'm hoping, my only concern is, one, that holds air, but two, as you can see, this original tire a little bit shorter and a lot narrower than the tire I'm going to put on, and I'm hoping that it will fit in the wheel well and I can use it at least as a spare for now and actually move the car. So let's get that thing on the rim and see what happens. Well, awesome. Tire fit between the wheel well here, which is what I was worried about. Doesn't look like it's gonna rub, and it holds air, so I'm happy about that. And I suppose wider tires wouldn't hurt. I might swap them all that way, but that'll be for a future day, because unfortunately I can't work on this anymore today because I got to look at my folks' GMC. Apparently they heard a clunk or a bang or something when they were driving, and they want me to check it out. So maybe next weekend I'll find some time. Seems to be how it goes. Whenever you get time to work on your own stuff, something else gets in the way. But we'll come back to her, that's for sure. Alright, I guess this is a little more important than fixing the Granada. As you can see, the upper trailing arms are broke off on both sides, so this axle can kind of do whatever it wants, and the only thing holding it in are the lower two and this sway bar thing here. Or not sway bar, you know what I mean. Yeah, well, I guess we'll figure out if I'll be able to fix it or not. It's pretty rusty. Don't look like there's a lot of room in there. Well, we'll see what happens. Alright, it's the following week. The GMC's all fixed, and the axle shouldn't fall out of that now. And we're back at the Granada. Tire held air, happy about that. And I've got some coolant in the truck because this is empty. Completely empty, I think. Hope not. We're going to put some in there, throw a battery in it. I guess I see a little tiny bit way in the bottom. So I'll have to figure out where that's going. But get that topped off. Check the transmission. It's reading full now, but it should be over full because it's not running. So I have a feeling I still have a leak somewhere, but that's okay. Get a battery in it, and I think I'm either going to have to redo my janky alternator setup or get a little tiny battery to fit in there because it's pretty close, but whatever. We'll deal with that when we get her in the shop. And gas. The gas end is probably not any good, so I don't know, let's top her off, fire it up, and see if it moves at least. Alright, I got the coolant topped off. It didn't take as much as I thought it would. I've got a battery in it. I don't think that's a good battery, but I got 2 more in the truck. My good battery doesn't fit, it's a little too close, so we'll try that one. If that doesn't work, I'll jumper it from another one. We'll see if it starts and see if it moves. Pump's working. There it goes, it's starting. Yeah, I guess that battery wasn't as bad as I thought. Still doesn't like the gas, but I don't really feel it trying to do anything, and I don't want to rev it while she's in gear. Park's fine, we'll rev it in park. Find a rag here. There we go. Oh, come on. Well, it was running, and of course it's empty, so. Alright, I dumped in a couple of quarts of transmission fluid. Let's see if this thing will fire back up and stay running, or maybe I'm out of gas. You never know. Well, fired up. Oh, hey, I felt it try to move. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. It's trying to move. Still doesn't like reverse. And we'll check it and see. Well, alright, that transmission was kind of a thirsty one. After 4 quarts of fluid, I finally got it able to rock, but as you can see, it's kind of in this hole, and yeah, I think I'm just spinning the tires and digging in. I don't really want to dig in. Yeah, she's a little buried. I could try rocking it, I suppose, but as you can see, I think the gophers have built mounds under there, making it a little bit difficult to get this thing out. Maybe I'll keep trying, why not? What's it gonna hurt besides the transmission, right? We'll try a little bit more. Yeah. Not running the greatest with that gas, but there we go. She's moving now. And the brakes work. Very nice. Just get her out of that hole, and then Yeah, I think we'll shut the hood. Yeah, shutting the hood, probably a good idea. Oh, I guess I never pumped that tire. Or that tire. But I made it out. Sweet. She has been there a while. Alright, I think I'm going to go get some air and air them tires up, and then we'll drive her back to the shop. Alright, I got a little bit of air in these absolutely not at all sketchy tires. They're perfectly fine. Let's fire it up and get it to the shop. I think first order of business is to figure out that transmission leak, because that's just annoying. Oh, come on. Oh no, I don't want to run. Typical. I might have to go get some fresh gas and throw in here. Come on. Alright, I'll go get some fresh gas. Alright, I got a couple of gallons of fresh fuel in it. Hopefully it'll start and run before my battery goes dead. Yeah. Who saw that coming? I saw that coming. Okay. Alright. I think I'm going to bring the truck back around. Yeah. Alright, I've got a jumper to the truck. Let's see if we can do something, I guess. I think she was just a little flooded out, maybe. Yeah. Okay, sweet. She'll stay running. I hope. GM side posts, whoever invented those ought to be shot. Anyway. Yeah. We'll just move this out of the way quick. And we will come back for it. Hope. Alright, I gotta turn her off here. There we go. Oh, no, died. Damn it. I bet you it's gonna be flooded. Or maybe not. I'm going to pull her up onto the high ground there with the hood up. Maybe that'll help. Well, I managed to get her in the shop. Of course you didn't see that because I hit the button when I was screwing around and turned the camera off and didn't realize it, but it's in here now anyway. And I've gone ahead, taking the fuel line off just to take a look at the fuel. It's not the greatest in the world, but not real potent in the smell, but I think that'll maybe sort of burn, so I think I'll probably take a look in the carburetor and see how that looks inside. I imagine not good. I think it needed to be cleaned the last time I had it running years ago, so I'm sure it didn't get any better with age. So I'll probably pull that off and we'll dig into it a little bit and see how it looks. Alright, I got the carb off and opened up, and it's not as bad in there as I thought it would be. It's not great. There's crud in there for sure, but I was expecting a lot worse, so unfortunately I don't have a kit for this laying around. I got the ones for the Ford 2-barrel carburetors, and I think I got a 4-barrel carburetor one, and I got, what do I got? I got ones for the Quadra-Junks, but not for this Holly, so I'll have to get a kit for it. This gasket did not survive. And go through it and clean it up, but I think in the meantime I'll jack this thing up and start looking for that transmission leak. Hopefully I can find that and take care of it. I thought I had it taken care of before, but apparently not, so let's see what we can do. Well, I've been crawling around under the car trying to find leaks. I don't see any obvious leaks by the transmission, but that thing sat for such a long time that if there was a drip it would have fallen down by now, so I might have to wait and see if it drips. And I gotta rebuild the carburetor anyway, so once I get the kit for the carburetor and get that back on and running good, maybe I'll drive it around and see if I can find a leak there. Same thing with the coolant. It looks like maybe around this hose at one point it might have been leaking. I'm not sure. I don't even know where this hose is from. It might be off a F-150, or might have been something I found in the scrap pile. I don't know. It's been a long time since I built this, but my power steering boots have seen better days. The rack boots there, they're just junk, both of them. So I'll get some of them coming. I'll get a carburetor kit. Try to pull all these stupid little weeds out of here. They're about everywhere. And then I'm going to take the big tire off the back that I put on there and see if I put it on the front if it'll clear. And if it does, I might go steal the other 3 tires off that Ranger and put them on these rims, and then have a little bit wider tires. That is, if it fits up front here and doesn't rub anything, because they're a good bit wider and a little bit taller. So I think maybe I'll go do that. Well, I swapped the tires over, the front one anyway, the back one to the front, and it's going to rub back here. I can feel it already. I don't even have the wheel turned all the way, so not the end of the world. I kind of expected that. I just figured I'd give it a shot and see. So that means I got to put skinny tires up front for sure, and maybe I'll get some fat ones for the back, because they seem to work all right. They'll do good back there. But good to know before I go buying tires. Well, alright, I got the carb back together. All I did was take it apart and spray it out. I didn't do a full rebuild. And of course I put in the absolute cheapest carb kit I could find, because like I always say, if you're not going to do it right, at least do it cheap. So what I'm going to do is plop that on there. I'm not even going to bolt it down. I'm going to hook the gas up, run some gas into it, find out where it leaks, because I'm sure it will leak. See if I can fix the leaks, and then if I can do that, we'll bolt it down and see if it'll start. And then I'll probably have to fight with tuning it, but one thing at a time. Alright, after tracking down about a half dozen fuel leaks, I think we got her. I hope. So, bolted her down, hooked everything up. I think I hooked everything up. It'll probably be fine. So let's see if it'll fire up and run. Well, that's much better already. Well, that worked way better than I thought it would. Fired right up at the touch of a key and sat there and idled. I didn't want to rev it too much because I wanted to come out here and make sure I didn't have any fuel leaks that I wasn't aware of before, but so far, so good. I don't see any issues. I haven't tuned it at all, but hey, that's a win. Now I got to go uptown at some point and get some gas because I only got a couple gallons in the tank. I flushed out all the old stuff and probably coolant. I don't think that's very full. Better just double check here. Yeah, there's brown stuff in it. We're good. We got oil. So yeah, we're getting there. Alright, I got it buttoned up and off the jacks. Should be good enough to take her down the driveway. Still got plenty of work to do to it, but let's give her a go. See how she does. That's a good sign. She will go down the driveway. Oh, she's running rich. Way too rich, man. Get her back in the garage. While we still can, maybe. Yep, okay. Well, she's not going down the driveway. We gotta deal with that carburetor, I think. Alright, we're back at the Granada. As you can see, we're outside. I had to move it out of the garage to work on that stupid GMC again. This time the gas tank is falling out because the strap broke, but we're outside. I went ahead and I tuned the carburetor a little bit. I think my main issue was the choke was a bit tight, so I backed that off, so hopefully it won't flood out the motor, especially when I try to start it. And I went uptown to get plugs. I handed them Autolite 25. I said, I need 8 of those. We don't have the Autolites. I said, I don't care what brand it is, just give me ones that cross-reference to that. They hand me 8 spark plugs for $45 or whatever it was. And then I get home, and they're not the right plugs. So, luckily they'll fit my brother's Lucerne, I think, so I'll just give them to him. And I ordered up some new plugs online for a third the price. And they'll be the right ones. But that's neither here nor there. Let's see if my choke fix is a fix and if it'll run. We'll just see what happens. Not terrible. Them plugs are definitely fouled out. I guess it's a little bit better. We'll button her up and maybe take her for a drive, see how it does. Well, she's putting down the driveway all right. Hasn't quite died yet, but I definitely need to get better plugs in it. Got a little bit of a stumble when I accelerate, but not the end of the world. top end. She still pulls pretty good though. Well, I made a few runs down the driveway with it. It's running okay. I really think I need to put plugs in it before I really play with it anymore, but yeah, not too bad. Might have to adjust the accelerator pump a little bit, but all in all, not too bad. Once I get the new plugs, we'll see how that goes. Well, I suppose it's been probably a month and a half since I started the video on this car. I've been tinkering with it off and on when I've had a little bit of time, but the prognosis is not great, we'll put it that way. So I got that Holly to finally stop dumping fuel. I took the power valve out and changed it because the kit, I got the Chinese kit power valve in that, didn't actually fit. It wouldn't even screw in, so got another power valve, put that in, and it stopped dumping fuel, but it still wasn't running right. And eventually I tracked it down to this diaphragm in the vacuum advance. Was just leaking a bunch of air, wasn't doing anything except causing a problem. That's why I couldn't tune it. But before I did all that, I thought maybe I had a problem with the Holly, or I was just too dumb to tune it, which could still be true. So I just grabbed a cheap Chinese 1406 knockoff and threw it on quick to see if it would run better, and it really didn't. And then I found that, so put that in there, did the base timing again. That's when I noticed, when I had a vacuum gauge on it, that I've got a sticking lifter or valve on that side somewhere. Intermittently, it's not all the time. I was sitting there watching it run, had the vacuum gauge on it, and then all of a sudden I'd hear a little tick and the vacuum gauge would bounce like crazy, and then it would stop. So I went ahead, changed the oil, and hopefully that'll work itself out or destroy itself, one of the two. I still haven't finished tuning the carburetor there, and was sick of flat tires, so I got 2 new front tires. They were pretty cheap from Walmart, like 60 bucks a piece, no big deal. So it's not running right yet. I need to get gas for it and all that. But when I was going up and down the driveway, I found another issue. If you look in here, if you look at these seats, one, the driver's side is very much lower than the passenger side. And I didn't realize that until I went up and down the driveway a bunch. So I said, that ain't right. And I crawled underneath it here. And as you can see, that's my seat poking through the floor. So we got some problems. She's held in with carpet at this point, which is not good, but that's okay, I guess. I think I can put Mustang floor pans in here, I think. I mean, they're all Fox bodies, it should work, right? But yeah, I think that's where we're just going to leave it here. A bunch of problems. We'll see if it even starts. Yeah, it'll start and run, but it ain't real happy about it. Still have to tune the carburetor, and the floor is kind of falling apart, but yeah. Unfortunate. Oh well, I don't have time to take the entire interior out and replace the floor pans. Plus, I've never done it before, but I think we'll see if we can get that engine worked out and then maybe think about the floors. Alright, one little update before I officially end the video here. I went ahead and got a little tuning kit for the knockoff Edelbrock there, and threw in some 7342 metering rods, and that richened it up enough so that when I get into it, it doesn't just bog down and die. So we're getting somewhere with the engine. Hopefully that oil, I put a marble mystery oil put in there, will eventually clear up that bad lifter, or that sticking lifter, whatever it is. And I still need to tune it a bit, but I can actually hit the gas and it doesn't die completely. But hopefully that sticking lifter will work itself out over time. I'm going to go ahead and just park it out here for a while and run it every now and again, warm it up. See that lifter tick went away. I can tell it gets real bad, but we'll park it out here and run it every now and again. Yeah, now it's back. Get that oil circulated and hopefully clear that up. And then if I can get the engine to run halfway decent, I think I'll go ahead and research the floor pan stuff. Because I've never done floor pans in anything before, so it should be interesting. But I got to get the engine to run halfway decent first. Yeah, there's that stupid lifter again. Rev it out of it here.